So, hey everyone, welcome back. It's another day, and this time, hopefully, we will actually make the script for the animation stuff. Alright, so let's create a new script. Basic node, okay, animation tool. I don't know if I need any other functions. Actually, I need a resource. Okay. I want to delete this and then need the script empty, so I might as well delete it. Delete node, add another node. Sure. I'll give this the script. Afterwards, animation resource for one, and another script for animation tool. So for the animation resource, I want a few exports. So first off, I want whatever the object is, or node, I guess. Colon node 2D. Thing to animate. Then I want a curve. Smoothing curve, I guess. It's what I think it's called, but I don't fully know the correct thing. I want a time value. So a duration. Duration. This is for the resource, so each individual part will have a time. In frames. Int. Yep. Actually, this is the resource, so this is not. thing. This is animation tool. Resource. Curve, duration, displacement, and vector 2D. Okay. I believe that's similar to how I had it before. Um, Alrighty. So the curve gets customization for the smoothing type, the displacement gets me whatever I need, the time gets me what the time as well. Okay. Currently the attack animation resource exists and has a bunch of stuff. I think this first part is reasonable to have. With the resource. Okay. $237. Now we have our default values, kind of. And we have like getting the correction term as well. Um, Finally, frame, this is the name I used, so fix that. Did I spell these wrong? No. Okay. So this portion gets me the correction term. For the animation tool, I get thing to animate. I should go to both the stun manager. I need these right options too. These are just important. Okay. So I don't know if this is everything for the resource yet, which is what I need to define as well. For the thing to animate, tool, can I go like this? but it has a tween. If it has a tween, it should be able to animate, right? How do I get the tween value then? That would be of the tween type? Yeah. Can I create a tween for my tween? Hmm. Nodes just have the ability to create a tween? Thing to animate or dot create tween? That maybe? Okay. Let's use that then. Alright. So once we have that, we want to go to, let me see what the projectile has for animation. It has this move function. And the stun manager has all of this. Okay. So get time, get velocity, those are already getting done. Start stun with tween. Animation tool. I should use this somewhere. Tween create. let me just quickly, if this dot has underscore, no, I don't know how to, okay, so this takes in data, direction, and locked. Func, and okay. First I want to do the curve math, which I think I do already for it here. The curve math is calculated on ready. Okay. I give this thing to animate node, but I need to actually give it a little bit more than that. Projectile makes sense for the projectile. For the player, it makes sense for the player, but not the location of the data. For data node. Okay, and comment here. For attacks, I want to animate player, but have the data in the attack. The attack will have a resource. Attack manager currently does all that. Func tween kill. There we go. And then that's something to use. Right now, attack animation is an array of attacks. I need to export this, but not here. Or I need to get a reference for it in the animation tool. Just at the var. I think this should be there being a property for just property. So when I want to do the animation, I want to go through each of these four parts. I want to use the tween, and I'd like to. How am I doing it right now? This line. We'll see if that works later. Is facing right. Did I use it as a pool? Yes. Let's take a pool. Okay. This this function is looping through. Part dot curve dot sample. Yeah, that makes sense. Get velocity, get time, animate. Hard turns. Mm, Okay. So I think that's enough for just starting this system, and we can fix whatever we need later. We have something to animate. We have a tool. And let's add a child node. Add an area. Add a collision shape. Give this a shape. Give the script to this. I want to give the tool to this node. Thing to animate, and we'll put the data on it too. Testing to animate. I forget, but there's a way to limit the specific things that you can select with this. Range, category, color, custom, direction, okay. So it has the data. For part and test property, which has the array, which I just get from the data node. Okay. Okay. Oh. I am pretty tired today. I'm not 100% sure why. So what does this look like? Animation stuff, screen, empty, new resource, smoothie curve. That did not get created. No. Oh, my finger. Am I getting credits? Maybe. So, 50x, 50y, and negative 50. So that should go up left, up right, sorry. Because negatives are up for some reason. Or linear. I want to make sure this thing isn't broken on me. Yeah, I'll get rid of those ones. So that has something, this has something. Go to the tool. For testing purposes, I will just make a function func test if input dot is action just pressed jump. Sure. Colon space animate. Okay. Wait, does it make sense for this to be a data node? No. No, it doesn't make sense to be a data node. It makes sense to be receiving a signal. Can a resource have a signal? Go dot, can a resource have a signal? It should be one manager that does it all. The tool will be exported. The tool will be a variable that's exported instead. Okay. The tool gets exported to the node. So this property, animation stuff, shift, export, var, tool, animation tool, save, inherent reft counted. Is it because this class doesn't actually have anything? Extends. Alright, GG. Okay. So, is it when the player does something? Where would it make most sense for the animation to start from? It should get started whenever the animation needs to be called, whether that's during the attack, at the start of a projectile frame, or when a button's pressed. So in that case, that would be start attacks. Okay, animation stuff, tool. This gives me all the values that we need to animate. For one animation that we have already defined. Node.animate is facing right, just set that to true. Then the data node would make less sense. Which breaks here. So this should take another property called data node. Actually, nothing. Okay, let's try to make this a signal. In here, func signal. There's signal object and signal, okay, not the object. I want a function called start animation that simply, when pressing jump, signaling the signal start underscore animation. dot emit. Okay. Now that we have a signal, you connecting from to this, right? Right. Pick existing functions. There's tween kill and there's animate. It only takes that because it doesn't actually know that it's supposed to have properties. Epic. Which one has the signal? Okay, I want the, now that I have the signal kind of set up, I need the correct typing of things. Is this right? Cool. And data node. Node 2D. Connect. So now is facing right, animation stuff. Thing to animate. That would mean I have to manually connect the manager to the actual thing that we need to animate. Also, I'm thinking like put it here. How do you rename these? Rename this to animation tool. Rename this to into meet. Right. Let's run this scene and see if I can do it. Nothing happened. Can I set this like this or no? Tween bound to root. Things animated started with no tweeners. What does this mean? I did not mean to open Steam. I'm waiting for Steam to open and so I can close it. Just don't know why it's taking so long. It also seems like the Godot dock is inconsistently working with the internet. Okay. Nope, that canceled the process. All right. Let's see. What is this error caused by? So variable create tween. Open Steam again. Gosh darn it. Okay. We do from immediately at the beginning of the tween motion. The tween bounds to this thing started with no tweeners. What line specifically? I didn't do signals right save now. Those values are not given. Mm, signals, objects. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. GRUE. And I believe it needs to be the data node too. This is the data node, but it should be not that. The test thing should be animation stuff. And data node should be animation stuff as well, since the node's already giving it. Animation stuff. Okay, run it again maybe. Nope. Tool, the thing you want to animate. The animation stuff is defined. It's got a animation. It's got a thing. Start animation. Emit the signal. Emit the signal. And then the signal is received by this. And then for each part, there, print this and this. Thing to animate. Print. Jump. What is jump down to? Project settings, input map, Jump is considered space, which is what I was pressing. It's not processing it. Okay. Power animation resource, what's it called? It's called smoothing curve. Let's do a correct shot. Let's just run it again. See. Okay. We get to this line and then we die. So I'd like to know why. It is a boolean. It says it starts with no tweener. Did I not make? No, I made gate velocity as a function. Retry. Okay, I don't understand what's happening here. Should thing to animate have its own variable that's a tween? Is it tween or tweener that I used for the object script? Yeah, it's tween. Tag animation is not here. Thing to animate animation tool. Tween. I would like to print the tween here and print tween here after the kill. Output. Bound to thing to animate. Attack manager. Okay, so I think I'm doing pretty much the same stuff as before. Into animation tool, inspector, animation. Time in frames is set to 0. Let's change that because that's supposed to be a number. Let's try again. Nope. It died on this line again. Is it because this is not a thing that has a velocity? Oh my goodness. No, that's not okay. This is the wrong type of node. Add child node. 2D, collision object, area, active hurt box. Hurt box area, physics body, static body, rigid body. Look by physics simulation. Use this instead. Delete this one. Testing to animate. Connects the signal to the animation tool. Pick. Is that not where it's supposed to? I changed the types, didn't I? Animation stuff, testing to animate. Lines. Intersect callable for a defined function. Missing instruction callable. non-target object. Was implicitly callable for a defined function. Get a get object that has connections is connected. Connection specified callable. Optional flags can be um, let's just do it that way. Cool. And this isn't used, right? Second, I need to change things. Input transform. Torque, angular, linear, velocity, solver. Can I stop this thing from having gravity? Okay. See it? Jumps is working. The signal's not connected. Right. Every time I press space, it gives me an error. Step started with no tweeners. Tool. Where is it returning that? Can you tell me what line? CPP3346. What's the problem? Why is there a problem? Does this have is at all defined? No. Add an element. Add a curve. Linear curve. Okay. Time and frames. 15. Displacements. 50. This one, -50. Okay. Run it again. Now that it has something. Custom interpolator on a null value. Why are you saying that? But I made it a thing. There's a curve. Then what is the problem? Queen is a null object, but why? We specifically create a tween. Is it because it's bound to something else? What does it mean when a tween is bound to something? I don't actually know. Call something in the documentation. Does it mean I have to use the tween? Where should I be declaring between them? Okay. Oh, this doesn't work. Does that fix it? Nope. Tween, create tween. Maybe it's supposed to be here. So instead, tween equals. I think I've done a. I can miss a tween variable, yeah. Is this line okay? Nope. Probably stops existing immediately afterwards. Also no. Okay. Really weird. If there's a tween, kill it immediately and create a new tween. Okay. Then we try to animate it, like we did with the collision shape. Tween property velocity does not exist. I'm sorry. What? Linear velocity. Var velocity equals linear. Velocity isn't changing. This is just wonderful. Okay, why is it collision objects just aren't working with the type I want? Inherited by area and physics body. Areas have no velocity or thing property. Physics, bodies, gravity, test move, etc., etc. It has a velocity. Rigid body has a linear velocity. Static body does not. Do you have a velocity? Nope. I hate that. Okay. Why? Do I make the projectiles character bodies? Or do I make a separate thing for animating projectiles rather than players? Or do I just go to the animation tool and go like this? If thing to animate dot is character body, then once, else if it's a for now rigid body, do the same thing, but instead use velocity. Run it, play it, and the thing has completely disappeared. Okay, what? immediately goes into the NAND dimension again. Let's try to get back out of the NAND dimension. So go to the tool. Let's just set it to. First off, let's comment this first part, so I know it's not the part I'm working on. Let's just set this to do this. Run it. Try it. Okay. Is there something broken with the animation stuff? Run it. That works. Okay. Displacement. So that line broke it. I'll label this as a buggy line. Um, then what do I want to do here? I need to get the correction. Okay. It exists. The correction should be 0.5. So if I go to the tool, or no, the resource, and just print the correction. So real quick, does this work? 8509? 5050. It should move 50 up and 50 to the right now. 159 and 159. All the way to. What? It goes 20 and 20. Why? Is it actually still using the correction term somewhere? Well, it only gets up to full speed at the end if there is using a correction term. Um, Let me just null this and see what happens. It does it in 2, not 1, which is a problem, and I don't like that. The clean is off by a little bit, and I do not like that. No, no, no. Okay. Let me print this thing dot 0 dot, sorry, get time, get displacement, velocity. Two hundred and 200. It says the correction is 2.5? Um, why is that the case? Right now it's a null thing. It's going 15. Fifty divided by 0.25 is 200. I guess that makes sense in a way, because that's 1/4 of a second. But I want it a distance, not just a. Okay, 50. Still that. Okay. Then if I go to not use the correction term, it's going to be time in frames, not displacement divided by time, get time. If I divide by the correction term, it didn't do this, which is strange. No, that gets it to NAND. Multiplication. Correction is considered 0 for some reason. Yet it's printing 0.25. Ow. How about I divide you by correction? Infinity. And times 5. Correction 0. Okay. Should it be this? True correction is an infinity. Okay. Why isn't that the case? Dismal? If smoothing curve, it's considered null initially. This ready function is not getting called. Okay. At all. Let's not call it ready. Let's call it find underscore correction. Get correction. Should make this a variable that's just always around for float type. Run it. See if it actually prints the thing. Well, it's not doing it because this thing just doesn't has it being printed. Correction. It says called and one. Okay. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Animation resource tool. Okay, no. Animation resource. There's correction. Get correction. 23. Okay, there we go. Divide and times probably won't do anything different. Yeah. Okay. That is working now. Because the ready function doesn't exist apparently for things like this. Okay. Time. Time dividing the correction by the time. It doesn't make sense. Going to this. It should be the velocity. Okay, let's make that curve. Curve presets linear. Save. Run it. And why? It gets there. It's just imperfectly off by a little bit. Da, da, da. If I go +1 in the odd case, it overcorrects. Plus 0.5. The correction is a little bit better. Is it? Oh, 58. No, okay. That's absolutely not. 54.4. Subtract 1? 53. Let me just run these multiple times. 47. Really? Okay. So just even running it consistently is inconsistent. Okay. Why is that? Okay. Doing the linear velocity, and it's clearly highly inconsistent. Let me quickly save this one. Actually, I can just make it in childhood. Character body 2D with the animation, not resource. Best thing to animate. Add one of these. Add one of these. Go to this thing. Type. That's things, yeah. Go to the character body. Thing to animate. That is the wrong script. Add element. Quick load. Yada yada. Okay. This has that. The tool. Now I should take the character body. On comment, please. I just want a consistency check. Script inherits native type rigid body. The position isn't moving. Why? Those things are all set. This is set. Start animation. Emit. No, not emit. Signals. Signals, that's why. Node, signal, animation tool, pick, compatible only. Yep. Connect. Run it. It is not working. Okay. Animation tool. Inspector. Animate that thing. Uh, what? You're not even giving me an error anywhere. Oh my goodness. Why is it breaking? It is a character body, so why isn't its velocity changing? We're sending true, we're sending the animation stuff. We're doing it all. Camera is not sending a character. Move the slide. There we go. Extremely consistent with just 57. And again, 56. 53. It's because it's the wrong process type, isn't it? Significantly more consistent or less consistent? What is it? 57, 114, 177. Wait, what? 114 to 177? Is that reasonable? Minus 50 is 27. That was plus 10. 240. Okay, it's adding, like, not a small amount. So the first 150, 7.2. And then from 57.2, it goes and does its thing, gets to 114. Which seems reasonable. Okay, if it wants to be consistent. Okay, plus 57, 171. Okay, I guess I just am bad at mental math. 228 seems to be off. 35, 298 minus the answer. There's a 13 that somehow showed up. 50. Now it's 57. 64. 216. Why is it inconsistent? Let me remove that and just see. The resource. Wait, didn't it get called? It wasn't used because I had no curve. You can press it fast and change it by an amount, but I just want consistency. It's now consistently the 50 I want it to be, but it's just not good. Like, floating point error, sure, but it shouldn't be off by however much it was before, of like 5 or 6 or something. Yeah, like, why is this off by 4? Physics is inconsistent. Okay. Well, so then what am I supposed to do if it's a projectile? Because the projectiles take not velocity, but position. My gosh, why? I want to look into the move and slide code. Okay, does character body is character body the only collision object with move and slide? And the property velocity. I don't like that. Okay. What would I have to do if I had a tool that is using velocity for one thing? Okay. If I want to make an animation tool for character bodies and uh, areas. What? And areas between, but using only one animation code. What are you doing here? Class name animation tool extends node. Can create a unified animation tool that works with character body and area nodes by detecting the node type and handling it appropriately. Node target position, duration. Okay, node dot tween property return tween. Static function, animate to, animate scan, static function, static function. For animator, takes in the node type if it's a character body, character body specific handling, character. If node is area, I'm gonna go to the entity base. This has move and slide in its physics process, and this has move and slide in its parent. Okay, so they just have move and slide regardless. Okay, test curves. Test things to animate. So there's a function that just says start animation. So something that starts the animation and makes the signal with the values. Okay, this is working. The resource is working. Um, Animation resource is working. The tool works. As this works. Let me add a node. That's a rigid body. Give it a collision shape. Give it the script. Animation stuff. Add element, quick load. Sure, yep. And then signal to the tool. No, it should be its own tool. Control A, go 2D, animation tool. This has thing to animate. It's the rigid body. Collision, the signal goes to the animation tool. Okay, connect. I've decided to reconsider this to be a, I want this to be an area. Test thing to animate. Then go to the animation tool. Then change this to area 2D. This has what shape? Oops. Oh, area. It does not have an element yet. Quick load. Thing to animate the area. Because I removed the code to start the animation. input dot use action use press jump colon run run it space. This is connected here, this is connected here, yeah, those are fine. I just need to check the right property. Um, Smoothing curve is facing right. Don't use get velocity, I don't think. Might just be the uh, thing to animate part dot displacement. Um, Get velocity has the correction term. Animation resource. If I just get the displacement and multiply by 1 or 0 or -1, how did I do that initially? Heart dot get velocity host is dot facing right. How did I do it for the projectile area animation? I literally just changed the current direction or thing by using an if statement. Okay. I really wish there was a ternary operator. Okay. Does go dots have a pre-built function for taking in a bool and returning one if true and -1 if 0, or if ternary operator. Times 2 minus 1. Really? Okay, because I need the displacement to be going the correct direction and such. Okay, animate positions, that part is fine. Vector dot. Okay, it would be displacement times something. But -1 or 1, it's just int is int is facing right min times 2 minus 1. Really? And convert this to sure. You know what? Let's just try it. Died here. Base object type nil. You've got something. You're literally pointing to it. It's not as character body as area 2D. Area 2D. Set custom interpolator is base null on instance. What? Attempt to call in base null instance. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? These are fine. Okay, let me remove this to test. Position does not exist. Started with no tweeners. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Because I literally spelt it wrong. Posion. Run it again. So it does a thing, but I don't know if I like that. That's just not what we want it to do. Why do you return? We'll give this a shape. Nope. Itself is character body dot 2D underscore and underscore slide. Itself is a character body 2D. Why can't I do that? Expression is a type resource slash testing things and so it can't be type body 2D. It can't be, but it could be. Um, as well. It may not directly be, but it can be, or is. It extends collision object 2D, but the node I'm literally using is a character body 2D. So why? Well, I got the tween sorted properly, so what if I just change what the tween is, or where it is? It seems fine there. Let me try disable something temporarily or suppress it. I can remove the scripts for a tiny bit. So the trains can work without actually being part of the node. Okay, that helps. Alrighty. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Um, okay. That is good. That is good. That is good. Alrighty. So, man, I am terrible at talking. I've been just thinking about this mostly. But so far we've made an animate function that works for whatever type we want it to work for. And it has smoothing because I am very certain that this actually does what you want it to do. Let me increase the time to 100 so it's probably more noticeable. Yep, let's really increase it. If I go like this. Yeah, okay. So, smoothing curve. It's called smoothing curve, but it's more like make the curve have the percentage at which the speed is out of 1. The more flat it is to 1, the more it is. I change the minimum domain to -1 because I want to, nope, not that. In value to -1. I can go like this. And then cry, maybe. No, that still works. Where the heck is that? That position needs to be printed. Just to make sure that it's actually going to the right spot. Oh my goodness, it is. Can I really have that kind of correction? That's about 50 units to the right? Really? Okay. So it goes back, forward, back, forward? No, it goes forward, back, forward, back. Forward, back, forward, back. Because of the negative sign, it actually always goes right first, which is funny. Then If I do negative 50, sure, why not? Negative 450. Okay, that actually goes pretty far, so let me go back to 50. It didn't save it. But no, you can go all the way back to the starting point if you really wanted to. Okay. Ooh, presets, linear, and constant. Just a simple. Hey, hey, hey. It broke. Why did you break? No. Oh, because it's set to 0 in this case. Reset this. Even a little curve. Okay. Just don't have the curve set to 0, realistically. Okay. Um, Wait a second. I don't have two directions separately. I only have one direction for the curve, which means I could split the velocity and position properties into both x and y components, and then I could have two things that are neat and fun. Okay, cool. All right, I think that will be most of it for today. Okay. If direction equals, what should I say if it um push error string animation curve area is equal to 0. I just it's what else is there? Animation resource. Okay, so let's just write some of the things I want to do in general. So to do, make a separate x and y components, add a second curve to do. Um, add a loop functionality. That'll be good and helpful, hopefully. What else would I want to add? Add a loop functionality. Remove the animation stuff from the character body and put it somewhere else. Because what are we doing here? We make the animation stuff, we throw it into the animation tool, and it animates the thing. Why do that though? Separately. Okay. Well, if I use a single animation tool and I export and I make the animation resources part of the attacks, I can use a signal that connects all of them, all of the attacks, to the animation tool, the singular tool, which its only job is to animate one thing. Hopefully just do that. Yeah. Should it be a node? Can it be a node? Yeah, okay. Okay. Function kill clean. Are there any variables? I don't know. Can I tween in editor? With the with a tool script, can I use tweens in editor? Okay. Okay. All right. Is there anything else I want to do? Also, this should be in the Obsidian file. To-do lists. Okay. What else is there? Hitbox, data resource, animation, position animation. Renaming this to the actual tool. Animation. tool. Okay. A single a node with the ability to take in animation resource data. Resource. Okay. Data and loop through. Yep. Using cleans. I've just realized that since it's a string animation tool here, only like a code to do. Change the hard-coded string values of velocity and position to a variable so that this duplicate code disappears. Um, Except it's not exactly duplicate because of things and how they're set up. Is there anything else? To-do list. Um, do a documentation check. Cool. All right. I think that's gonna be all for today. I hope this was of some benefit.